Okay, hello, welcome to the third or fourth part of this thing. So, this is going to be the first actual kind of difficult part of this game, which is this fort. I'm not sure if the name is a pun or not. Half convinced that it is. So yeah, it turns out this guy is 15. Looks like he's some 20 or 30-ish, but no. Japanese ages never really make any sense with these. Never match the portraits. So what I'm going to be going for here is actually just have one group attacking from the front directly here, while having another one go around the side. This usually works pretty well. As part of the problem is, if everyone gets clumped up, they actually have a pretty large group there. Have a tendency to barrage you to death. Also of note, there are actually a couple of hidden things on the ground in this area. First of all, over here there will be one random item. Over here, I believe, is another. Over here, you have to burn this grass. It's another hidden item. And over here, and one of these two, I believe, is going to be one of the ones I'll be going for, which is a fairly decent weapon there. Now, this knight here is a tank. There's no point in going after him yet. Actually just going to be having him go up here so that he can counterattack people. And at least do some damage to this cleric over here. And as you begin to notice pretty quickly, everyone here is absolutely better armed than anyone in my group here. By far. Well, by far at this point. Not very far in the long run. So I'm just going to have them go pick up whatever items here. And this will vary. Sometimes it's just a random healing item, other times it'll be some good like a spear. But there's just an antidote. Now, water does slow down movement for most classes. There are some that can walk on water, others that can fly, and that won't affect them. This is also one of the few where there are actually archers that are some type of threat. And that's mainly just due to her, and the fact that you can't do a whole lot here in terms of movement. It ends up being a deadlock within a few turns. But if you single people out and take out the cleric early, there's usually some decent means of winning. With any luck, she can hopefully be gone by next turn. So like I had mentioned, the reason I have the leader out front and kind of exposed like that is because he's the only one with any threatening counterattack right now. Seeing as due to his emblem, he is actually able to do a lot of damage with his fists. Also of note, this is one of the few maps that will actually lag, believe it or not. This lags on the regular version and on the emulator. And I'm not sure why, because there are a lot of much larger ones with more things going on, but it's just this one particular one. Luckily though, since it tends to kind of drag out for a bit, this does have one of the more decent battle themes to it. Usually they're pretty terrible. Yep, and the cleric's gone. So that should make this a lot easier. Next most threatening is the archer over there with a great bow. It's good to take care of these corners over here, otherwise they tend to park one of the soldiers in there, or their leader, and that tends to be a problem. And that sound was actually just reminding me that I forgot to plug this laptop in. One of the dangers of having the archers here in the water like this is they will take extra damage down there. Unless there's something like an octopus or a mermaid, they will take more damage in water. So there's a magic seed, that's pretty useless right now. Also, the turn after this, the wizard should probably become threatening. One of the few things he has with him is Crag Crush, which is one of the area of effect moves that they get. This always hits, unless there's some very specific reason preventing them from doing so. And I actually can't remember what that is at this point. So it has a 100% chance to hit, is slightly less damaging than the missile attacks for old elements there, but also has a chance to hit an area. This is if you have higher intelligence on him. This guy doesn't, most of the time. There was one time, I'm not sure if it was a bug or what, but for some reason he seemed to have the area of effect going on. Until then, he has, I believe, a random missile with him, but this never really matches his type, so it's not as good. And that's just unfortunate. Got an epic fight on the ledge kind of going on. At least in this game's terms. Just have him take a shot at this guy over here. Because he will start killing off the guys down at the bottom. This is actually turning out pretty much ideal on every level here. Also, that chirping in the background would be Olive. Oddly enough, why I named one of the characters Olive. So, I apologize, she was actually asleep. Now, so far, just about everything has gone right with this. In most cases, there will at least be a few misses, and people will end up getting stuck on both sides of the map, either one of the groups. And archers especially, because if you don't get them to high ground, they are useless until you get them with crossbows, or... well, you can give them melee weapons, they just suck with them. Later on, I will be giving 2 of the frontline characters spears. There's a trick you can do with spears, in which you give 2 characters a spear each, have them stand on either side of an enemy, they will stab through them. Your second person with a spear will take a small bit of damage from that, but they will also counterattack the person from the back, hitting them a second time. So this does damage your guys a bit, but it's worth it. Now, as far as the part I mentioned about this challenge attempting to use only things you can buy in stores, there will be, with the exception of 1 spear, which you actually need to beat the final boss. There is absolutely no chance whatsoever of actually beating him without it, because you can't do anything without using it.